Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the Tech Sports Report. I'm your host, Matt Jenkins, here to bring you all the latest highlights and recaps from all the past week's Arkansas Tech athletic events. On today's show, we're going to have the Director of Alumni Relations and former Wonder Boys kicker Kelly Davis, as well as the new strength and conditioning coach for Arkansas Tech, Mike Golden, on the show with us today. We're going to kick off today's show with highlights from the Golden Suns volleyball team's last regular season home match of the season. The Golden Suns hosted Harding University on Senior Day with what was going to be a crucial battle for the position of top seed in the Great American Conference Tournament. After losing the first two sets and falling behind 18-12 in set number 3, this kill by Rodemers would begin a 6-0 run to climb back into a tie. Later in the set, the Suns trailed 23-22 when Kaylee Kinsella dropped this shot in the back corner to tie the set up 23-all. 2 points later, it was Kinsella coming up big again on this solo block to seal a 25-23 set 3 victory. The Golden Suns took control in the fourth set and didn't look back. This Kinsella kill would set up the match point, and then on the very next play, it was McCall Wilkins sealing the set with this kill to end that set 25-18. The Golden Suns would need another monster rally in the fifth set. After falling behind by as much as 5 points and Harding holding on to a 12-7 lead in the set, Tech rallied with a 7-0 run. Eschner recorded this kill to tie the set up at 12-all, and then Amanda Milnick recorded back-to-back service aces to grab a 14-12 lead. Harding fought back to tie the set up at 14 apiece, but this Hunter Eschner kill set up match point, and Kinsella sealed the victory on this kill off a Harding block out of bounds to come away with the set 16-14 and to win the match 3-2. After the match, our very own Paul Smith caught up with head coach Christy Byer and senior right side hitter Kaylee Kinsella.
We're here after the Arkansas Tech Golden Suns volleyball team picked up quite the 3-2 win over Harding. I'm here with Coach Christy Byer and senior Kaylee Kinsella. And Coach Byer first. What happened in between sets 2 and 3?
I don't know. Stumped. I honestly don't know. We came out, we just did not play well the first 2 sets. We were completely flat. And it's just kind of this team's, will and desire to fight back and to not go out like that. And it was just, with volleyball, it's such a momentum sport. And once you can gain some momentum and get a couple points, it's just a huge change. We talked about controlling the serve, and we talked about that all year. And the team that can control the serve and get on runs is the team that's going to win. And I think the first person to start off and do that was Lauren. She went back there and she put a couple points together, and I think that's just a boost for us. So it was just about momentum.
And it seemed that early on, Harding kind of controlled that through their blocking game, 11 blocks through the first 3 sets, and they ended the match with 13, so there was definitely a change there.
Yeah, I'm looking at the stats, and I'm amazed that we were able to pull it off with only 2 blocks in a 5-set match. But once again, on the defensive side, our players, we have multiple players that have 20-plus digs out there. I mean, our defense was on fire. Once we kind of got into a groove and started being a little more aggressive defensively, we were able to, stay in these rallies. The first 2 sets, we weren't able to stay in rallies. It was Harding. But once we were able to dig and play a little bit of defense, we were able to stay in rallies with them.
You're down 5 points 3 times in that deciding 5th set after coming back from a 2-0 deficit. You put that in a match against Harding, which has high emotion anyway. Yeah. What was going through your mind?
Honestly, when we called the timeout, we talked about our conference championship match against Southern Naz, and I think at one point we were down 11-4, 11-5, and we talked about we've been in this situation before. It's not impossible to come back, from the situation, and the team believed it, and Amanda Milnick was huge back there. She missed 6 serves the first 4 sets, and for her to come back there and nail aces in a 5th set with the game on the line, that just shows what kind of mental toughness she has.
It was a must-win match. Now you go to Washita on Thursday in another one.
Yeah, it doesn't get easier. I mean, going down, playing at OBU is probably one of the toughest places to play in our conference. So while this is a great win, and we'll probably be really excited tonight, tomorrow, all our effort and focus needs to be on OBU and completing this regular season.
Well, Coach, congratulations. Best of luck Thursday.
Thank you.
Now, Kaylee, for you being a senior, again, a lot of emotion had to go through, but when the team started off a little bit sluggishly in those opening 2 sets, what were you feeling?
I was thinking, what are we doing? I mean, that's not Arkansas Tech volleyball. It's a game against Harding. We have to bring our A game. We can't afford to play anything but our best against Harding. So really, at the beginning, it was just kind of like we got to fix it. And that's what we did.
And Coach Beyer wasn't really able to point to any particular thing that seemed to flip the switch for you guys after that second set. Did you see anything? Did you notice anything in the locker room at the break?
You know, before Coach B got in there, we were all talking, and we were just saying, like, it's up to us. We weren't playing well. They were playing well. We weren't. All it was just us deciding individually we're each going to do something better, and we each improved somewhere, and then it just made a world of a difference.
20 kills for you. Were you really feeling in the groove tonight?
Yeah, I mean, 5-set match, it's exhausting, but, you know, Amanda was putting up some great balls, and I think that's probably my most kills all season. With it being senior night, Harding, it's just the momentum, the emotion, the competitiveness.
You've played your last match here in Tucker Coliseum. How do you feel?
Bittersweet. It's not over. We still got a long ways to go. Last game in Tucker, I'll miss it, but like I said, a long way to go.
Another regular season game Thursday, and then it's on to the tournament. One more chance to go to the NCAAs.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, best of luck Thursday. Best of luck in Hot Springs.
Thank you.
Matt, back to you.
The Golden Suns recorded a season-best 101 digs, with 3 players recording 20-plus digs. Madison Nagel led the way with 26 digs. Maddie Dix added 25, and Hunter Eschner put together a double-double with 20 digs and 18 kills. Offensively, the Golden Suns were led by Kinsella with 20 kills on a .250 attack percentage, while Amanda Milnick dished out 54 assists and 14 digs to go along with a team-high 4 service aces. After the win, the Golden Suns moved into a 4-way tie for first place in the Great American Conference standings, with Oklahoma Baptist being upset by Southeastern Oklahoma. The Golden Suns picked up a 3-set sweep on Thursday at Southern Arkansas. Tech won the first 2 tightly contested sets 25-23, 25-23 before winning big in the last set 25-18. Eschner led the Golden Suns net attack with 13 kills on a .440 attack percentage, while being tied with Madison Nagel and Maddie Dix for a team-high 10 digs. Amanda Milnick dished out a team-best 36 assists, while also tallying a team-best 3 service aces and 3 total blocks. The Wonder Boys football team hit the road this weekend for back-to-back road games. First up, traveling to southwestern Oklahoma. It was a dramatic game for the Wonder Boys as they rallied from 6 points down in the fourth quarter to come away with a 24-20 victory. Christian Thompson scored a go-ahead touchdown with 7:46 to go in the fourth quarter to take a 21-20 lead. And then Eric Perez added some insurance after a 38-yard field goal with 1 minute and 13 seconds left to go in the ballgame to stretch the lead to 24-20. That turned out to be an important field goal because the Bulldogs managed to drive down to the Wonder Boys' 4-yard line, but forced back-to-back incompletions in the waning seconds of the game to come away with the victory. Jabias Cross led the passing attack with 134 yards on 7 of 10 passing with a touchdown. Christian Thompson led the rushing attack with 18 carries for 70 yards and 2 touchdowns, while Justin Bailey led all receivers with a 68-yard touchdown reception. Jant Weary led the Wonder Boys defense with 8 tackles and a 42-yard interception return, and Demetrius Ford added 6 tackles, and 2 of those tackles coming for a loss, and also added a forced fumble and a fumble recovery that he ran back for 40 yards. The Golden Suns cross-country team closed out their 2016 season while competing in the NCAA Central Regional Championships. The Suns finished 4 spots higher in this year's championships, coming away with the race in 26th place. Amory Era led the Golden Suns with a time of 23 minutes and 58 seconds. Megan Bradley set a personal best in the 6K, closing out the race in 24 minutes and 7 seconds, while Cami Hedstrom turned in her first 6K time of her career, closing out in third for the Suns with a 24-minute and 16-second finish. The Golden Suns basketball team kicked off their season this past Sunday in an exhibition game inside Tucker Coliseum. Tech hosted Dallas Diesel to open exhibition play. The Suns opened up the game on a high note as Danielle Frazier found Kelsey McClure on the baseline as she knocked down this layup to beat the shot clock and give the Suns a 2-0 lead. With time running down in the first half, Frazier went one-on-one on this drive to the basket to beat the buzzer and send the Suns into the half with just a 3-point deficit. The Golden Suns came out firing in the second half as Callie White hits this 3-pointer from the corner to cut into the deficit. And then a few plays later, she hits this bomb from 4 feet behind the arc to stretch the Suns' lead to 4 in the third quarter. And in the fourth quarter, the Suns pulled away as McClure finds Frazier on this drive and dished to give the Suns their biggest lead of the day at 95-77. Tech had 3 players score 20 or more points, led by Frazier with a double-double, scoring 24 points on 8 of 12 shooting from the field and 8 of 11 from the free throw line, while she also recorded a team-high 10 rebounds. White added 22 points on 8 of 15 shooting from the field, including 5 of 11 from the three-point line, while Kelsey McClure scored 20 points and 8 of 11 from the field, while also recording a team-high 3 steals. The Wonder Boys basketball team also kicked off their season as they traveled to Texas San Antonio for an exhibition game. Tech fought hard in this one, but fell just short of an upset as the Wonder Boys lost on a last-second shot in this one, 91-89. Trevon Woods led the Wonder Boys with 24 points on 8 of 16 shooting, including 5 of 10 from behind the arc, and Montrell Williams added 20 points from off the bench on 6 of 11 shooting from the field and 3 of 5 from behind the arc. The Wonder Boys got an impressive effort from Benny Lufil from the bench with 16 points on 6 of 7 shooting and a team-high 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and a team-best 3 blocked shots and 2 steals. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the Director of Alumni Relations, Kelly Davis, joining us on set. We'll be right back.
Are you a Tech sports fan? Then it's time for you to get rewarded with the Fight On Rewards app. Check into Tech athletic events to earn points and redeem for awesome prizes. You can also interact on social media, fan polls, and post pictures through our fan cam. The app is now available for free through the App Store or the Google Play Store. Looking to get the inside stories of Arkansas Tech athletics? Then be sure to subscribe to Tech Talk, the official podcast of Arkansas Tech Sports. Available for free right now on iTunes.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Welcome back to the Tech Sports Report. I'm Matt Jenkins here with the Director of Alumni Relations, Mr. Kelly Davis. Kelly, how are you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing well. How yourself? Fall is in the air finally.
Thank goodness. This 80-degree weather we had to experience during football season was just, it wasn't pleasing to be a part of.
No, especially during homecoming. One of the biggest alumni events of the year is our homecoming events that we have, and I tell you what, it was so warm that weekend. But not complaining.
No, absolutely not.
It could have been raining or snowing. So
I think I can remember a couple years ago. I think it was my first homecoming. It was about 50 degrees and sprinkling rain on homecoming. So.
Absolutely. And that kind of dampens the crowd just a little bit.
But there wasn't no dampening that crowd during this past homecoming. There was electricity in the air.
Absolutely was. And I tell you what, we had a lot of great turnout, a lot of things going on, and you can cap it off with a Wonder Boy victory. That just makes it, the day great.
Makes everything better. Well, let's dive right into our conversation. Let's talk about a little bit about your playing days, because you're one of the Wonder Boy legends, playing football back a while ago.
Now, legends, I don't know.
Well,
I participated, let's say
just talk a little bit about your playing days as a
it
Wonder
was
Boy
fun. Back in the day, we were in the NAIA days of Arkansas Tech, and that's back when we were in the AIC conference, which entailed UCA at the time. And it was a good time. It was a great conference back then. A lot of great coaches that were in the league, and a lot of great players. Some being drafted each year, going to the NFL. Roy Green would be one that I could think of right off the top of my head. But even back into the history of Tech, we've had several go on to play professionally. So it's been a great tradition, great program here.
What are some of your fondest memories? Because I'm sure, every football player we've had on this show and every football player I've ever talked to, they got memories that you could write a book on how much they have. What are some of your fondest memories as a player?
Well, I'd say probably my fondest memory is being able to kick the winning field goal to beat Ouachita one year, which meant a lot to the conference race. And it was a home game, and we were able to pull that one off. And the way it came about, Rex Nelson and some people down at Ouachita can maybe argue that, well, we got an extra down here or something, but the time had expired, and unfortunately the official had an inadvertent whistle. So we got an extra play, untimed down. They had blocked the previous field goal, but this one they were not able to block, and it went through the upright. And that was a fun time. That was a good good day.
Lots of good memories. So after football was done as your Wonder Boy, you kind of transitioned out of football. So what was next after football for
Well, I
Kelly?
transitioned out in the sense of not playing anymore.
Right.
I had the opportunity to go try out, but that, like many of us, the percentages of making professional team is very slim. So I went into the business world, started working for a living, started a family, but I kept the football connection. I got into officiating. I refereed football, so that kept me close to the game and close to coaches and close to players, and I was able to stay connected that way.
What was that like being official? Because you could either be the most beloved official in the world, or you sometimes could be the most hated one.
Absolutely. The key, the one thing that we always try to keep in the back of our head is if the head coaches cannot remember who the officials were that night, then it was a good night. Then you did your job. They can't remember you ever doing anything that would have disrupted the game. So that always made it a good night. So
Absolutely.
we tried to strive for that.
So when did to talk a little bit about you kind of transitioning to the role of being the director of alumni relations here at Tech?
Well, I first returned to Tech as athletic liaison in the development office. We started the capital campaign to renovate, build Baswell Hall, build the new women's sports complex. And so I came back and started on that campaign and participated in that. And then after a few years, moved into the alumni office. There was an opening. Angela Bonds, I don't know if you remember Angela, she was going to start a family, and she decided that she would just be a stay-at-home mom. So the opening became available. And Jane Jones at the time, who I worked for, asked me if I could consider transitioning over into the alumni office. Been there ever since, and I've loved every minute of it.
Absolutely. We talked about it at the beginning of this conversation with the some alumni events that happened during homecoming. Is there any events that you need to let the Tech fans know about that's coming up here soon?
Well, coming up soon, we always do. Alumni office does the breakfast during finals. I know that we always like to encourage our students. We talk about the students here at Tech. They are fantastic. And so we like to just more than anything encourage them. We know they have the opportunity to go to the cafeteria to eat before, but sometimes if they have an 8 o'clock test, they may be walking in at 7:45, and we have something to drink, muffins, fruit, and just a word of encouragement. So we do that in all the academic buildings in December, and then again in May during finals week. And it always seems to be one way for us to cheer them up and encourage them to do well on their test.
I know as my time as an undergrad, it made it
Absolutely.
a lot better. I get a cup of orange juice and get a good banana nut muffin.
And that gives our alums and friends a good way to get back on campus and encourage the students as well.
And kind of see the progress of how.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, it seems like every time alumni come back, I mean, there's a brand new building on campus, and they're just constantly expanding, which is good for the school too.
And one good thing about it, you always look for those repeat customers.
Absolutely.
Those students that come back, each semester, and you can get caught up with them, see how their progress is coming toward graduation.
Well, let's end our conversation on football because you're obviously a football guy. If there's one thing you could tell the football team right now, they're having a big contest with Harding this weekend up at Searcy. Is there a message you'd like to just send to the football team?
Well, I'd always remind them, don't forget it's family. I mean, your fellow players next to you, you will see them. You're going to build lifelong friendships with some, and you're going to continue throughout your lifetime being connected with them. And don't forget that. And the other thing is, you almost treat each game like it could be your last one, especially your senior year. Like the Harding game this Saturday would be the final regular season game, and the last game for some to ever play the game. But some can continue in other aspects. But never forget all the friendships and the memories, because there's a lot of memories that you amass, during the 4-year career that you have as a college player. So that's one thing I would encourage them to do is never forget, because your coaches, you may not think they like you, but they're probably your best friends.
Absolutely.
Especially after your playing days, you can come back and see them and keep in touch with them as well, and they'll encourage you in your business career or whatever avenue that you're going to take.
Absolutely. Well, Kelly, we appreciate you joining
Enjoy
us.
it.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the new strength and conditioning coach here at Arkansas Tech, Mike Golden, joining us on set. We'll be right back.
I knew Arkansas Tech had an impressive history,
but I didn't know that my professors would look out for my future.
I knew I'd be throwing fastballs on the field, but I didn't know I'd be on the fast track to physical therapy school.
I knew my art professors had years of experience, but I didn't know that I would get real-world experience before graduation.
I knew Tech was close to home, but I didn't know it would feel like home.
Tech has one of the highest graduation rates in the state. Come take a tour of campus and discover what else you don't know about Tech.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
Welcome back to the Tech Sports Report. I'm Matt Jenkins here with new Arkansas Tech strength and conditioning coach Mike Golden. Mike, how are you doing this afternoon?
Good, doing good. How are you?
Welcome to Arkansas Tech.
Good, welcome. Glad to be here.
Before we talk about your new role here at Tech, let's look back over your time as a strength and conditioning coach. Just talk a little bit about where your career's taken you, because you've been mainly an East Coast guy.
Yeah, I grew up in Connecticut and started off there at a high school after I graduated. Had a lot of success at the high school, and Coach Skip Holtz was the football coach at UConn. And he had an opening. He brought me on as his assistant. Then he left there to go work for his dad at South Carolina, and they brought me there with him. So went there. His dad was there for 4 or 5 years with his dad, and then he retired, and then Skip got the job at East Carolina, so I went with him there. Then went with him down to South Florida, and kind of my dad was sick, and we had an opportunity to go back up east just to be with family for a while, so we did that, and then we had this opportunity that we wanted to get back down south, and luckily we did. So it was definitely a good move. Really enjoyed it doing it.
What made the Tech offer just kind of attractive to you in your mind?
Well, there were some things I had in my head that I wanted to work with an AD that was a coach, whether it was whatever it was that they actually coached. Wanted to be in South, and it had to be at a place that had a really good school system. I have 5 kids at home, so it's really important at this stage because they're all getting older. I mean, before it was fun to be nomads and this and that, but once you get a place and you got to settle down, we really had to look at that, and Tech definitely fit all those criteria.
Absolutely. You kind of spoke about, because you've made your way throughout the East Coast, being in Florida, Connecticut, all across there. Has it been an adjustment, kind of getting used to the southern culture of Arkansas a little bit?
No, not really, because we were in North Carolina for 6 years, so it is very similar to East Carolina. Gotcha. Very, very similar living here.
So what's your overall goal with being the new strength and conditioning coach here at Arkansas Tech?
You know, I really just want to build it into a program. I don't want Tech to be, okay, we're just going to go work out. Like, we want it to be a program to where, you know, if it's great if people say, okay, football is great, we had a great strength coach with football, but I want all the teams to feel that way, because we're getting a recruit and maybe a football player is dating a tennis player, and the tennis player wants to come here, and they're like, well, we heard they're good with football, but not that good with tennis. So we just want to turn it into a program. Absolutely. You know, and we also have a great building for the school where they have the GAs for strength and conditioning. They actually have a major in strength and conditioning. So that's something that we're trying to be a part of. We have interns now to try to build that brand so we can kind of come together and really make it a good situation for the students and for the student athletes, because we have more eyes on them and be able to coach young strength coaches to be able to move on and go.
Definitely, absolutely. And I think one thing in doing some research on you've had a lot of experience with NFL scouting combines, and I'm sure yes, that is music to the ears of some Arkansas Tech Wonder Boy football players.
Yeah, I was lucky enough. I worked at NFL camp. Actually, when Bill Belichick, his last year with the Browns, I was with him, and it's amazing looking back on that coaching staff. It was him. It was Nick Saban was the defensive guy. Kirk Ferentz was on that staff. So really good situation to be around great coaches like that, and then working the combine. You know, it just opens your eyes to what it really is up there. I mean, it really is a business, and it really shows you how hard it is to be an NFL player. I mean, we were there with guys who were from Alabama or places, Clemson, places like that, where they didn't even make it, and they were unbelievable athletes. So it's really shows you what a high level those guys really play at.
Absolutely. And just you mentioning that, what's it like being around just those big name coaches throughout your career, between Bill Belichick, Nick Saban, just kind of just taking in what they just kind
of I mean, that's what it is. You know, you just everyone has this, does their own thing, but you know, the common theme is coaching. It's fundamentals. I mean, if you look at all of them, even working for Lou Holtz, everything was fundamentals. It was never a big scheme, X's and O's. It's just, listen, blocking and tackling is football. Get the guys ready, get to know your players, treat them. And, you see even what Bill Belichick has done, how he was so bad in Cleveland, and now he's running a dynasty because he was smart enough to realize I need to change, So it's just a constant evolving of, coaching and, the different players that they are now from where they were 10 years ago. It's just a whole difference. So you got to adjust and adapt or you're not going to make it.
Absolutely. And I'm sure you've made a lot of good friends here at Tech already with the student athletes.
Yes. I think if someone asked me the best thing about working at Tech is, hands down, it's the student athletes. I really enjoy being around them. They're a good bunch of kids. They work hard. They're respectful, but they're just good people to be around.
That's great. Well, Mike, welcome to Tech, and we
Thank
appreciate you
much.
joining us.
Appreciate it. Thank
We're
you.
going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have more here on the Tech Sports Report.
I knew I'd follow my heart into the Arkansas Tech nursing program, but I didn't know I'd fall in love with the campus.
I knew I would check out international business, but I didn't know I could check out a mountain bike.
I knew Tech had plenty of degrees that matched my interest.
But I didn't know I wanted to study pre-med.
Or pre-law.
I knew Arkansas Tech had an impressive history,
but I didn't know that my professors would look out for my future.
Tech has one of the highest graduation rates in the state. Come take a tour of campus and discover what else you don't know about Tech.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Welcome back to the Tech Sports Report, and it is now time for our Fight On Rewards Fan Poll Question of the Week, brought to you by Superfan U. This week, our fan poll question is: sophomore outside hitter from the Golden Suns volleyball team, Hunter Eschner, won her 5th GAC Offensive Player of the Week this week and is currently averaging 3.65 kills per set in her career. Where does she currently rank in the Golden Suns record book in kills per set? Is it A, first, B, second, C, 5th, or D, 7th? Remember, you can answer this fan poll question on the Fight On Rewards app, available for free from the App Store on Apple devices or the Google Play Store on Android devices. And now we're at the portion of the show where we take a look ahead and see what's upcoming for Arkansas Tech athletics. We'll begin with tonight, as the Golden Suns volleyball team will close out its regular season with a very important road matchup at Ouachita Baptist, with first place in the Great American Conference Tournament on the line. That match is scheduled to begin at 7:00 p.m. in Arkadelphia. The Wonder Boys football team will close out its 2016 season with its toughest test of the season as they travel to 5th-ranked and undefeated Harding University. That match is scheduled for a 2 p.m. kickoff in Searcy. The Golden Suns basketball team opens up regular season play on Saturday with a home game against Lane College. That game is scheduled for a 1 p.m. tip-off inside Tucker Coliseum. And for those of you who can't make it out to the game, we will have live video, audio, and stats available at ArkansasTechSports.com. And we will also have full highlights in next week's show. And immediately following that ball game, the Wonder Boys basketball team will host an exhibition game against Living the Dream. That game will begin at 3 p.m. And again, if you can't make it out to the game, live video, audio, and stats will be available at ArkansasTechSports.com. And just like the women's game, we'll have full highlights on next week's show. And with that, we've reached the conclusion of the Tech Sports Report. Make sure you stay tuned next week, as we will have junior Golden Sun volleyball player Maddie Dix on set with us to talk about the upcoming Great American Conference Tournament in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Also on the show, we will have Golden Suns basketball player Kelsey McClure to talk about the upcoming home opener against Lane College and the big GAC basketball games coming up next Saturday. We appreciate you joining us. My name is Matt Jenkins, and you have been watching the Tech Sports Report.